All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to another breaking news. I got some exciting stuff for today, some good announcements. And the only bad thing about today is I'm out of coffee. I actually jumped on another show. I drank all my coffee. Now I don't have coffee. So, what kind of breaking news can you do without coffee? Well, I'm going to have to make it do. Well, guys, what is this show about? Well, this show's about celebration of all communities, the Bigfoot community, the UFO community, the wonderful paranormal community, and even the Mandela effect community. We talk about it all here. We show video clips from all communities. Why? Because we respect every community that's out there. So beyond that, guys, what are we going to start today with? Paranormal, UFO, or are we going to start with the Bigfoot? Let me pick and choose. This is a hard decision because this is all breaking news because I got some real breaking news. All right. I think we're going to start with what the hell. Let's just start with the Bigfoot intro again. Here we go. All right. Now, you ready for some breaking news? We all know the Bigfoot community, the legend, one of the legends of the community, one of the good guys of the community, one of the guys that has such a wonderful heart, who really cares about the community. The guy I'm talking about is the Squatchin Cowboy. Okay? He's got an announcement to make. What is his announcement? Well, guys, on his channel, he's dropped this video. I want you to hear the announcement from the Squatchin Cowboy.
Hey everybody, Joe Pass, the Squatchin Cowboy here. I know it's been a long time since I put out one of my no BS searches for Bigfoot. But in February, the first part of February 2022, the wife and I are going to go down to South Texas and do a little squatching down there. This one's going to be a little bit different. Going to be kind of a documentary type thing. And then later on in February 2022, a few of us are getting together and going up in Oklahoma. And then in March, we're going down to my buddy Flat Rock Booger's place in Alabama. And come on, do a fella right and go ahead and subscribe to my channel too. The 1st of February, we're going down South Texas, and then Oklahoma, and then Alabama. And then who knows where we show up. Maybe we'll show up at your front door. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. And hello, Mr. Lee.
Now, guys, that is awesome news. He's actually going to be hitting the road, going different states to look for the Bigfoot. And he's going to be filming it, kind of making like a documentary to it. And this is the link to his channel. I will put the link to this video in the description. We all know I do it after the show's over, so people don't watch these videos pre-hand. Got to do a little something. So this is awesome, guys. I mean, this is great for community because when you have good people, right, and they're traveling, they're doing this on their own. It's not like he's being sponsored by, the travel channel and stuff like that, which, we all wish good people get sponsored, because it does cost a lot of money to go to different states, gas, food, where you're staying at, and then he's going to share his experience. I mean, that's something that's awesome. That's something that people should back. These are kind of people you want to back up because they're just not talking the talk. They're doing it. If I want to go hunt, Bigfoot, I can just go in my backyard, to the Olympic Mountains, But when you're making an effort to drive to different states, I mean, that's dedication, my friends. That is pure dedication. And Squatchin Cowboy, I appreciate what you're doing. I can't wait to start seeing some of your footage of you on these trips. If you're going to make it into a documentary, video clips, I don't care. I just want to see it. And it doesn't. I don't even care if he ever captures a footprint or the prize. Just knowing that he's out there trying, to me, that's enough. That's enough. So, Squatchin Cowboy, we're all going to support you. We can't wait till you hit that journey. Hopefully you do little video clips of your journey, and then of course you're gonna put it all together into a documentary style, whatever you're gonna do. We all appreciate it, and that's, guys, that is what I truly call breaking news. Somebody from our community is working hard to find the truth. That's all he's trying to do. Okay, now guys, this is for fun. What does Ozzy Osbourne, the Diary of a Madman, bark at the moon? What does he think of some Bigfoot clips? Well, I got this off of Travel Channel. I clip it down. So I want to hear what Ozzy thinks, and Sharon Osbourne, his wife, thinks of the Bigfoot. All right? So here we go. Let's check this out. Come on, Ozzy. I wish I could play some Ozzy music, but if you do, your whole video gets shut down. So that's why you're not going to hear any Ozzy Osbourne music. Here we go. Ozzy Osbourne.
They were done hunting for the day, and they spotted this in the distance.
What the? Somebody out for a stroll.
Now, this is a big-time hunting area, so if you are walking out in the open like that, or in the woods, you're going to want to have a bright orange vest on so that no one accidentally shoots you. And that is definitely not the gait of a human.
No, he walked.
What do you think? Is that Bigfoot, or is that just
I don't know
a
if
large
Bigfoot,
person?
but I can see what you're saying. He's like big, whatever it is, it's big.
I guess this area...
Oh my God.
Okay, that was just the first video. He's being honest, you know. He's big. He's not saying it is Bigfoot. That is big. And that's what a common person would think too. No, not just automatically saying that's a Bigfoot. You know, he's trying to think of what it is. So, you know, you don't get more honest answers from a guy like Ozzy. Ozzy just tells you how he thinks, and that's it. So here we go for his next video clip that Ozzy's going to be checking out.
Look at that thing.
It's something. Probably somebody walking on Christmas.
That's huge.
Walking up loose.
Look at the gait and how
Yeah,
big the arms
it's a
are.
weird.
Oh my God. We better get back inside, guys.
Body language is weird because it's sort of like between a bear and a
Huge.
gorilla.
gorilla.
Yeah.
I'd move.
This one.
I love that. Fuck it. I'll move. You only get that from Ozzy, right? I'll move. I love that. Now people might be thinking, well, Ozzy's saying it could be an ape. Well, gorilla, well, that's what a common person would think, right? You got to think outside the box. Now, is that a gorilla out there? I mean, I don't know exactly where that is, where he's at. But, you know, you got to think of that. A human in a suit, a gorilla. I mean, you literally got to think about that. Now, joining us to watch some more Ozzy clips is the famous Dr. Wu. So,
yeah,
this is the next Ozzy clip, and we'll get Bob's opinion on the next Ozzy clip. Here we go.
That's weird. Look at that. Doop doo doo. It's like looking at him, crouched down.
Is that a guy in a suit?
He throws a stick at him.
Guy in a gorilla suit.
Yeah, but don't you think you would like recognize someone in a gorilla suit?
Huh?
Shut up, Jack.
They got
I love that because she's like, wouldn't you recognize a guy in a gorilla suit? How would you recognize anybody in a suit? I mean, if somebody's in a suit, you're not going to recognize the person. Now, and I kind of agree with them thinking that somebody's in there because if Bigfoot saw you, Bob, I'm not an expert on Bigfoot, but if Bigfoot saw you, is he really going to throw just a stick at you? If I'm Bigfoot, right, and if I think you're a threat to me, I'm probably going to pick up a heavy rock, something that's going to hurt you, then throw you a stick. What do you think?
Well, if I were a Bigfoot and that elusive and famously elusive, squatting behind that tree, that fork tree where you could see his entirety of his body, I don't think they're that stupid. I'm going to give them credit and say they wouldn't squat down behind a forked tree. You know,
Throw a stick at you.
Throw a stick. Keep going. Hey, I'm gonna grab some headphones so you don't have to keep shutting me off. So I'll be right back.
No problem. All right, here's the next clip from Ozzy.
Out and started recording, and they captured this. What appears to be a Bigfoot.
It's a bloke having a piss. That ain't Bigfoot. It's a bloke.
Like, you can see the arm here and its legs. I mean, those are long ass arms.
It looks like a person to me.
Oh,
It's a bloke having a piss.
Yeah, I think he's a homeless person.
then this thing's right.
I'm sorry. I love it. I love it. I love it because I mean that footage is so far away. The first thing I would think of, it's going to be human. Now, maybe it is Bigfoot. I don't know. But a homeless person? Hey, come to Seattle.
Yeah, it's a
You'll
homeless
see them
person.
all over the place walking around and stuff in places where
Yeah.
you don't think they're walking around. So that's not they live in LA. They got a lot of homeless. So I can see where she's coming from with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and a lot of that. People don't know how many. There are a lot of homeless people living out in the foliage, and I don't blame them. I mean, that's where they gotta go. That's where.
Yeah.
And if you're a lot of homeless people are under the sex registry, so they're not allowed to be within a certain feet or so many feet from schools or playgrounds. They've got no place to go but the forest and the foliage, and they're all out there. A lot of them, more than people know about.
I just love it. I just here. That's okay. We got one more Ozzy clip. Here we go.
Here. And he's like, what the is that?
At first, he thought it wasn't living, but then all of a sudden, this happened.
See, it moved?
Yeah.
Whatever the this is, it's moving.
I just love that fun part. She
No.
goes, yeah, and Ozzy's like, no, because
No.
I'll be honest, I had to watch it too. Like, it moved. It
I don't
moved.
see that.
I'm gonna continue it, but I just love it where he's like right out the bat, like, no, I didn't see it move. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's a tree.
Oh, there is one more. It's a tree. And listen, I'm looking at that clip too. I mean, if it's windy, whatever's behind it, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Bigfoot. It could be an animal with the wind. But
Yeah.
I just love his reaction. Like, so simple. Like, no, it's a tree.
The wind.
The wind. No.
1,000 things. A squirrel on the side of a tree, which is very, very, very common, no matter where you live. Yeah.
All right. Actually, this is the last of the Ozzy clip.
Good sound.
I don't think you'd be saying that if you heard it while you were in the middle of the woods.
That's where sometimes I think that Ozzy's son's not doesn't have common sense. But what she's saying is good sound. She's really meaning that that's an interesting sound. That's a little bit different of a sound that you would usually hear. Not like she's making fun of it. So
Yeah.
I know it's a show. He probably said something like that. You probably want to say that. Well, yeah, if we're there in person, you hear that, you'd be like, what the fuck was that? It'd be like American Wolf of London when you hear this big old howl. You're not thinking right out the bat, Bigfoot. You're thinking, what the fuck just made that noise? But here we go.
So they thought they may have spotted the source of the noise with their drone, so they got closer by foot and they stumbled across this.
It's a guy with a coat on.
I don't think so. Wait till they get closer.
It'd be stupid to walk out here in a suit. You'd get shot. They're just around, aren't they?
That's a bloke in a suit. That's a bloke in a suit. And his best mate is the guy in the rubber suit that goes in the water.
In the rubber suit in the water. What does that mean?
Fishman.
So he's Fishman, the bad
No,
actress.
it's his friend. It's his friend. Fishman's his mate.
Have you lost your mind?
They're whispering, and I should imagine that Bigfoot whoever he is or whatever he is has perfect hearing, and he could hear whispers, and he'd be after him like off a shuffle. He'd be after him.
No, if he was something like Bigfoot or Smallfoot or Big Arse, whatever, if he didn't move with them screwing around over there, why has nobody got like an actual close-up shot of him?
And that's
It's always like behind a tree trunk and you see his area arse or his arm.
The thing is, what he's saying there is, it's not exactly wrong. I mean, that's the question that a lot of people ask. Now there's always answers on why we don't get a clear picture, but that's a common thinking process that everybody goes through. Well, why can't we get a good picture? Why can't we get a clear picture? And when they said that last footage could be a guy in a suit, you have to seriously try to debunk first before you even say that's real footage of a Bigfoot or that's a real footage of something, because you're not doing the community any good without trying to debunk what that could be.
Well, yeah, the first thing I saw was somebody looking down at their feet and watching how they're stepping, which means the visibility and whatever they're wearing isn't very clear. They're watching their feet. Now, Bigfoot would not watch. There would be no anthropoid running around out there is going to be watching their feet when they walk. They're going to glide. From what I've saw, which I consider real footage, they literally glide almost in a squatting position without they look straight ahead or they look right at you as they're walking. They don't even stop their body. Their head and their torsos are almost working in a different independently of each other. This one is watching their feet and then stopping behind. No, not based off the footage I've seen. The real
and you heard what Sharon Osbourne said at the last part, where these things are smart. They're smarter than that.
Smarter than that. Yeah, I'm giving Sasquatch credit, man. That's like dumb. That's dumb. That's somebody in a suit looking at their feet.
Like I said, that was just meant to be for fun. What does Ozzy think? Because the way Ozzy thinks is what the common person thinks.
Yeah.
Now, what you should take out of it is, well, if that's what the common people think, what can I do to prove that it's real? If this is what people think, is it through DNA? Could be. Is it through something else? Could be. You got to know what the common person thinks, and Ozzy thinks like a common person. Okay? If that's what Ozzy thinks, I guarantee that's what most people think. So people, just take that video with Ozzy and say, okay, how can I convince Ozzy that's a real Bigfoot? That's how you want to try to do your research. However that is, through DNA, whatever it is. But you got to think, to break through, how can you break through? How can you change Ozzy's mind? If you can change Ozzy's mind to say, if you can get Ozzy Osbourne to say, that's a Bigfoot, you scored.
And since Ozzy has a very high, like an extremely high percentage of Neanderthal DNA in it, they did a test on a lot of people in England, and Ozzy was one of the first recipients of this genetics test to find out how much Neanderthal DNA is in people's genetic structure. And so far, I guess it's funny because Ozzy has hit high on a recipient of Neanderthal DNA, a very high volume of it. It's fucking weird. And those could be relatives. I mean, those could be Neanderthal. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. We don't have anything yet. But it's very close to the genetics.
I like Sandra Piper's comment. She wrote, everyone the paranormal to Jack Osbourne. Ozzy's the actually making sense on the program. He is. Because Jack Osbourne is showing too much that he believes everything too fast.
Yeah.
That he's not like taking it all in different angles. He's just real fast. No, look, the arm's too long. The legs are too long. Well, you know how long that video you're recording, the distances? Things are going to look longer. Things are going to look shorter, depending on how that camera or what kind of camera you're using, kind of phone you're using,
what angle you're at.
Yeah. So Ozzy, I agree with Sandra. Ozzy makes more sense than his own son. Now, guys, we're going to move on over to the paranormal side. what I'm going to show you guys is 2 clips from a guy who's technically narrating what's going on in this video. So let's look at it and let's listen to the narrator and try to see what he's seeing and what we think about it. So let me get it up here. Here we go.
Camera set up by the owner of this home, who had been repeatedly experiencing strange events such as moving objects and misplaced objects throughout their home. If you look closely at the coffee table, you notice the remote seemed to move to the right on its own. Following that, you see the TV turn on. And if you pay closer attention to the TV, you'll notice a shadow moving from right to left. With no people or objects present to cast that shadow, this event seems very peculiar. Let's take a closer look at this and analyze some of this activity. Here it can be seen the shadow passing from the left to the right. The reflection in the TV shows you the placement of the couch and the table. Notice that the shadow being cast appears to be walking between the table and the couch. At this point, we see the remote gently slide to the right. The TV then turns on, eliminating the possibility of this being a pre-recorded video. Some strange rolling white static seems to be playing on the TV during the duration of this clip. And finally, we see the same shadow move from right to left, walking the same path between the table and the couch that we saw earlier. The source of this video is unknown, just something I found interesting while cruising the dark depths of the internet.
Okay, that's the first one. He does another one now. Okay, of course I can't tell you guys if that's real or not, but now for me, as a cable guy, doing the hum bars, it's not really hard to do on the TV. Hum bars are interference from outside. So basically, like if you took a cable wire and you cut it and you expose the braids and the cable to the air, and what happens is it acts like an antenna along with cable, so it sends 2 signals at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's what causes a hum bar. When you got separate reception, it just comes hum bar. This is during the analog days. Nowadays everything's digital. That can happen because digital is all breaks up. So this tells me this is an older video. Now I would be guessing if Bob and I try to recreate it, depending on where the camera is behind the TV, I'm sure if you get a certain lighting and you can have somebody walk where you might not see on the camera, but your shadow is showing up on the TV. I feel that you can recreate that. And the part where he says TV turns on, well, somebody could have a remote and turn that part on. So basically, a hum bar, I could create a hum bar if there were still analog in the air. Everything's digital. You can't. But back in the day, I could create those hum bars easily.
Yeah. Let me see. I would, as a magician, because I do a lot of the tricks too, I would have a step ladder up underneath the camera. You could hold up any object in front of the light. Obviously, the light is coming down at that angle. It's right next to the camera. I could take an object and hold it over the light like this. It will create a shadow. It creates a shadow. I could do it. I could do an old paper plate, roll it up in a fucking piece of paper, and then go over the light like this. It'll create a shadow over it. And hell, I can have a remote control and just turn it on.
Yeah.
Go like this and then turn it on. I mean, again, I hate debunking like that, but he says the number one flag is he doesn't have the source. So
yeah,
nobody to.
Yeah, exactly. I was just showing people how you can recreate the hum bars, and of course you can have someone underneath the coffee table. You can put a piece of metal on the remote on the coffee table and a powerful magnet on the bottom to make it move. So making things move is not that hard.
Oh, with a string, you could. I could do it on the same damn step ladder with a fine. I've done things with thread, with like a white thread or a fine thread, or whatever the color of the floor is, and you run it out there, and you can just pull it, it, and it. Come on.
Well,
but But Eric, there's a lot of effort done. Somebody put through a lot of effort to do this.
No. Listen, this could be 100% real.
That's what I'm saying. It could be real because there's a lot of effort.
I'm just saying how you can recreate it. You can.
Yeah.
So beyond that, we'll show his second one. Let's check this one out.
Number 2. This video was sent to me by a paranormal activity enthusiast that we use from time to time on Mindseed to go through our footage and find things that we may have missed during our investigations. In this video, it appears as if a middle-aged woman is out during the evening watering her plants. If you look in the bottom left of the screen, you see a strange figure appear. This figure standing there, motionless, seems to be the shadow from someone who is possibly standing out of frame. But what we're about to witness as she walks along the flower bed while watering her plants seems to lend itself to maybe another explanation for the phenomenon we're experiencing. The shadow, attached to no other objects or people, seems to follow her. The figure appears to be at least semi-transparent. Notice the gravel that you can see through the base of the figure. As she turns around, she faces her flashlight directly at the figure.
On the bottom right there.
Notice how the dark figure doesn't disappear when in direct light, nor does the outline of the figure distort when the flashlight is shined upon it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on the bottom. Like you can see
What we see next is the figure begin to follow her, staying far enough behind as if it doesn't want to be noticed, but moving completely independently.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty good. Because it is pretty good because I'm thinking, okay, how can you recreate the shadow to move? Is it somebody in a black blanket in a way and they fuzzy that image? I mean, that seems pretty hard. Is it somebody walking by it, but he had that stuff in the way? So
yeah,
it's pretty good. That one will take more work to fake than the other one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, as a fakery, that would be pretty damn good. I mean, but he does have a source, so he does know where it's coming from. It's supposed to be a accredited group that does paranormal research. It's a lot of effort to try to dupe the people. I want to believe that one.
Yeah, that one I liked. I mean, I liked it. I mean, it's a you could glitch almost anything, but even though that's more simpler than the video prior, that one you easily do easier than that one because how do you make a shadow look like it's moving? You know, it's like
it could be done.
I'm walking straight, my shadow's here, but then on that video there's obstacles right here. So how can my shadow go through the obstacles to make it look like it's moving?
Yeah, you would have to have a reflective blanket. And then it would feed back dark on the reflective blanket. It would feed back. It could be done. However, why? Well, I mean, unless they want more fans or more subs, and that depends on what side it is. I'd have to see. It's very well done. I'd have to see more of their shows to determine if these guys are frauds or not. But that was executed nicely.
That was really nicely.
I want to believe it. Yeah, that's how it's coming off. So,
yeah. Well, guys, it's time to go into the UFOs. Now, I do want to say Chocolate and Cheese did make a good comment about that last one, and we'll go into UFOs. He did write, a green suit can edit the person out, but why go through the effort? So
that's what I'm saying.
That's a good one. That's a point
very well said.
About wearing a green thing, and then you can edit out and maybe somehow put blackness in it. So that's a good one. That's I like that. That's why we do this. You know,
very well said. That's perfect.
So Chocolate and Cheese, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Perfect.
I can see doing it that way because listen, I do green screens too. Right? Now, guys, this next one is going to be a very interesting one. Now, this video is a 4-minute and 30-second video, but this is actually in my own backyard. This is actually supposedly happened off an island next to Des Moines, Washington. My own backyard. Now, I always say, research your area, guys. Find out if there's stories about the area that you in. This is called the Maury Island Incident. Okay? So the Maury Island Incident. Bob, I don't know if you ever heard of the Maury Island Incident. You probably have. You know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So you heard
of it?
No,
I have not. Okay. No, I have to see the footage first. I might remember it.
Now, this is 40 minutes and 30 seconds, people, but it's good. It's good information. It's good history.
Let's see.
Here. And it's here in my own backyard.
Okay. Huh.
Do you like unsolved mysteries? Maybe a government cover-up with an FBI agent relentlessly seeking the truth. And maybe it's a Cold War story, and it goes all the way to the top. Maybe all the way to J. Edgar Hoover himself.
It's good stuff, Bob. What?
And what if all of that not only actually happened, but happened in connection with an infamous UFO sighting over Puget Sound? This is Des Moines, Washington, in Seattle's South Side. A small town with some very big stories. When I heard this story, I just had to know more. And I think you'll feel the same way.
I live there.
Come on.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
The Maury Island Incident mural isn't just a most excellent spot for a selfie. It's a Des Moines launch pad for the true story that envelops what some say is the most incredible UFO tale in history. It's June 21, 1947.
Near Roswell.
When Tacoma resident Harold Dahl and his son Charles and the family dog Sparky picked up 2 crewmen on the docks in Tacoma, and they headed out towards Maury Island on Harold's boat, the North Queen. Harold sees 6 huge flying discs in the sky, 100 feet across, hollow, shaped like donuts. One of them seems to be failing. It's lower than the others. There's an explosion and all kinds of debris. It's molten like lava. It's referred to by some as slag. The dog Sparky is hit and killed. The North Queen is damaged. Some slag burns Charles on his arm. They're so frightened that they run the boat aground on the nearest land, the beach on Maury Island, and they hide from the raining fire beneath some cliffs until the saucers go away. But none of that is the weird part, because on the very next day, a man in black confronts Harold. The man in black told Harold that he knew what Harold had seen the day before in the water, and the man in black warned Harold not to tell anyone, or bad things might happen. Harold's account is our first modern reference to the Men in Black. Think about that. The X-Files,
never heard of this.
Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Yep, the Maury Island incident is where that all started.
What?
Right here. But none of that is the weird part. J. Edgar Hoover is competing with the Army over jurisdiction to investigate the saucer sightings. They wanted to know what people were seeing because they wanted to know if maybe the Soviets were overflying our country. The Army assigns 2 intelligence officers, former World War II pilots, to investigate Maury Island, Captain William Davidson and Lieutenant Frank Brown. On July 31st, 1947, the 2 intelligence officers actually fly to McCord Field in Tacoma in an Army surplus B-25 bomber that they pilot. But by this time, over a month later, just like the man in black had warned, bad things had happened to Harold. The 2 intelligence officers, they take samples of the slag, manifest it as top secret cargo, and store it inside the bomber's navigator's kit. Tragically, Captain Davidson and Lieutenant Brown perish when the B-25 spontaneously and inexplicably catches fire less than 1 hour into the flight. Now here is where it gets twisted. Harold is so upset about all the bad things that have happened, he decides he's going to make up a new story. He's going to tell the whole world that he made the whole thing up. that he's the biggest liar that ever lived.
What?
Because he'd rather be known as a liar than face more ridicule. That's the story. Don't know what to believe? Come to Des Moines and see for yourself. For more
Yeah. Now, according to Chasing the Truth, Sean, he says it is an old story. And that's well, it is an old story. I mean, we found it, but a lot of people don't know this story, and I thought it'd be fun to show. And now, Chasing the Truth, Sean did bring up something interesting when he said, "Why is a lot of stories about UFO reports are from decades ago, not new stuff?" And that's a good. No, you think about that. Why are most of these UFO stories sooner? Is it because we can cover them up easier? Is it? I mean, you got to think about that. But I like the story because it's in my own backyard, and it kind of proves that. Listen, not everybody goes missing when they find out a UFO. I don't know, Bigfoot, paranormal. Like they said, the government, your body's missing. You could be bought off to say, "Oh, I was just lying." Or it was fraud, or people are easily bought off. I mean,
they're under orders too. If you're told, if you're under orders, and they tell you can't reveal it, well, you go to prison. You will go to the brig fast if they told you, well, now this is considered top secret. You can't talk about it anymore. And if you go talking about it, bam, you're gone. You're in prison. Military will put you there fast. That's treason, man. So he's just probably told. But where's this island? Where is this island at? Is this something we can see from Des Moines?
Yes. If you go to the pier straight across, there's Vashon Island, and it's right by it.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird for me. I remember going to the pier, looking across the sound, and just seeing the other side of the landmass.
Yeah, you got.
But that's not an.
And then towards the right, you got Port Orchard area.
Yeah,
I used to live over there.
Yeah, and so you're saying we can see this island by itself in the water in the Puget Sound?
Yeah. What I'll do is today I'll drive out there because it's only 3 minutes away from me, and I'll double check to see how much you can see it.
I don't remember that island he's talking about. I don't remember that island. Okay.
And then here, let me see here. Melissa wrote, all the good UFO accounts are from back then. I think it's because the ETs didn't have the tech they do now. They actually had to pick up PPL and mate when them instead of doing it all through laser beams. It's all good. It's all good stuff because the Roswell incident, the big crashes and all that. It seemed like it did happen in the 40s and 50s. But the thing is. But also think about this, what if there are a lot of crashes, but they're just not letting that get out? They'll say it's a plane crash. I mean, how many things are cover up now that we just don't know about? Listen, if the government military wants to cover something up, they'll just say that was a plane crash. And you know what? 95% of people are going to
Yeah. Also, I can tell you guys I took parapsychology in the University of Washington, taking the classes, and this is a fact that each generation has a depiction of what a UFO looks like. And believe it or not, they change. For example, back in the 40s and the 50s, they were flying discs. And then as they progress further forward, they become triangle shaped. And then you got into the 80s, there were a lot of triangles all of a sudden in the 90s, and and then all of a sudden they turn into cylinder tubes. And then presently there's been more accounts of large silver cylinder tubes, like basically wingless planes reported, but no discs. I rarely hear discs anymore. There's no discs anymore. They keep changing.
Here's an interesting comment. Governments already made a deal with them on harvesting and testing. Good. I mean, true. It is good.
So it's telling me that these whatever these anomalies are, whatever these unidentified objects are, they've changed with the times. And it seemed that they seem to change with people's perception of what they should look like, which is telling me they don't actually have a real mass that's consistent. They don't. They're not consistent in shape. They're not. They're era specific.
Yeah, and
okay.
And the main reason I wanted to show this video is to tell people this is my backyard. What's in your backyard? What stories are there? I mean, there's so many stories that we don't even know about. You know, we're
never heard of that story.
People, find out what are your hot spots. What are the big conspiracy that happened where you live? Because
weird.
This is a story that I never really looked up before and never really paid attention to. But now I'm like, wow, this is my own backyard. How come I didn't pay attention to it? How come I'm not?
Yeah, why didn't they teach this one in class? Didn't fucking talk about that. I've never heard of this one.
Yeah.
Okay. I it is what it is, and it kind of rivals on another effect. We call it the Mandela effect phenomenon. People talk about misremembering stories. I've went to in Washington a paranormal class, and we would have talked about this, man. Hands down, it's right in the backyard. In fact, Eric, your house is there, and my house was there. Why would I not know about this?
I know.
Okay.
And my wife is the one who brought me this story.
That's cool.
My wife brought it to me. She goes, Eric, you ever heard of this story? I'm like, oh, you know what? I never heard of that one.
Never heard of this story.
And she's the one that showed me the video clip of this. She showed me the video. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was well
done. Got newspaper clippings of it. They've got a whole, and people on the sidebar, honestly, and I believe you. You have heard of this. You have, I believe you. That's cool. That's kind of showing it's real. The incident is real, or it was talked about as real.
Yep.
Man, that's weird.
Well, beyond that, guys, we are going into the final segment of the show. It's Mandela effect time.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
All right, hey everybody! Just letting you know, our good friend Connor, Bigfoot Non, is having a premiere soon because he was actually at a Bigfoot conference over the weekend, and can't wait to hear stuff about it. And
can't wait to see that.
I didn't want to ask him any questions about it because this is his deal. I know he wants to show it all on his channel, and then once he's done showing on his channel,
it'd be good.
We'll probably do an interview with him about that event. I'll probably maybe next Wednesday. We'll get him on, and maybe Squatchin South Florida could come on, and we could dig deep into how the conference was. Now, guys,
nice
for this breaking news on Mandela Effect, we're gonna be talking about the movie, the
Escape from New York, right?
Escape from New York. Now, a little disclaimer, because some of it is going to be involved in the conspiracy of the 9/11 day, and I respect everybody who lost their life there. I don't want everybody to think I'm throwing out conspiracies on it, but this does have a link to a conspiracy about that too. So I just want to give everybody a disclaimer. This is all done for fun. This is all, you can believe this stuff or not. It's up.
Believe it or not.
It's up to you. Now,
yeah,
there's been several things about Escape from New York. Escape from New York is directed by John Carpenter. Okay.
Yes.
Now, the thing is about John Carpenter. Let me just. I'm going to share a screen. Now I'm going to show a little video clip. But here's a picture of what we're going to be talking about in this clip. Okay. In the movie Escape from New York, in the beginning, when the president is flying by New York, at that time in the movie, New York is made into a jail prison. It's where they put all all the bad people in the world,
Criminals
in New York. And then the thing is, he has to escape because they're taking over the plane, and he escapes in this egg. Now, in the Mandela effect world, a lot of people who we talk to, direct people, I'm talking about people we know, family members, they remember him getting into a white egg. Now we're gonna show a little clip of the movie. So go along with us on this.
Get me to the pod.
This is a locating device to trace you if you become separated from the pod. I'm activating it now.
God save me, and what shall you all?
Okay, so in the first part of this is people remember it being in a white egg.
White egg, yes. I remember clearly.
In a white egg. Now,
yeah.
Why, the question is, why would it go from white to red or orange, whatever color that was? Well, the thing is, John Carpenter has always been a fan of UFOs, has always been a UFO guy. Aliens already visited on this planet. You guys know the movies, The Thing. Yeah, he did The Thing.
Yeah.
They Live is where they're already here.
They live, yeah.
And he did a movie about Mars. Now, also, he was a huge fan of a 1978 TV series called Mork and Mindy.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys this. Now he wanted to show like a preview of aliens already being on this planet by using what they use in the movie of the TV show Mork and Mindy. Let me show a picture of this.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me show a picture of this. This is the egg that they use in Mork and Mindy, where Mork himself landed on this planet in a white egg. So John Carpenter wanted to show respect that aliens are already here. So he put the white egg as the escape pod. Otherwise, there's no reason to.
Yes. You saw that article.
Use an egg pod. That was a connection where now some people might say, well, Eric, Bob, everybody, you're just misremembering the white egg for the orange. And that could be possible.
Yes.
True.
That could be possible, yes.
The connection between the two. That's all I'm doing, showing a connection. So that's the egg from Mork and Mindy. Hey, it's a little fun history, right? If anybody cares.
Yes.
Now some people also said Escape from New York told the future in a way. This is what I'm talking about.
Computer simulation tracking Air Force One.
Now, some people said this movie predicted the future of a plane crashing into a building in New York. Now, this is just, I'm just saying, this is just what goes around. People say in the community that
it's the truth drop. The classic truth drop. Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
Truth drop. So, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect anything, but I'm just letting you know that some people said this movie even predicted the future. And the egg color change is to try to tell people to realize that this kind of told people what was coming.
Down. Yeah. It's the escape pod.
You saw the two towers there. And,
here's the Twin Towers. Yeah.
So that's the Mandela effect side of it and all that. And like I said, it's all for fun. But they're saying the connection between Mork and Mindy, the white eggs, tell people that aliens are already here. They're already living among us. That's what the egg was meant, because Mork was already here.
I'm from Sagittarius. I'm an alien. I claim alien shit.
And listen, there is a lot of movies with towers. I get that. But the movie is trying to say predicted the future because it showed the plane hit a building in the movie. That's all.
Yeah.
That's I'm not trying to disrespect anybody.
Yeah,
I'm just
I did a
trying
whole
to
video
throw-
on that one.
Yeah,
I got
and then,
almost no views.
There
I did a
is
whole video.
there is a number 13 kind of a connection to, if you want to go crazy with numbers. Escape from New York is 1997, and then Escape from LA is supposed to be, I think, the year 2007. And Mork and Mindy was on for about 3.5 years, and you do the math, it actually comes out to 13.
Yeah, I remember the white egg 100%. When I saw, I put a video out on this, and I was like, "Oh my god, no way! It was a white egg." And then I ran it across other people without telling them it's changed. But I just watched the movie with other people as an anthropologist, would keep my fucking mouth shut, not leading them into the answer, not giving, just staying quiet and watching it. And without giving it away, other people were sitting there going, "Man, I could have swore it was a white egg." I'm like, I'm keeping quiet. I'm writing it down. And then another person, "Man, that was a white egg, wasn't it?" And I go, "I ain't saying a word." Wrote it down, and even Eric, even the title is in red. The title and all the words are in red at the beginning of the movie. In red. I go, huh? No. There's a lot of changes in this movie. Now, for me, and maybe I've only found one other person, and we could be misremembering. Let's put it right there around the fucking table. But I have a picture, I put it on my video. I have a picture of Kurt Russell. He had the patch on the other eye. So you have your one eye symbolism that keeps popping up in this phenomenon, the one eye symbolism. His patch was on the other eye. They said, "What do you mean?" And I found a picture. I should have sent it to you, of him in rehearsal. It's a weird ass picture of him in rehearsal. Wasn't like part of the movie. It was him in rehearsal, and he's standing there with the patch on the other eye.
Yeah,
it's what they would call a residual, but they don't
weird,
really
right?
exist. But yeah.
And Bob, I want to say, Jen, you could be 100% correct. When you hear egg, most people would think white egg, so your brain will make it that.
Correct.
That is absolutely true. We're not
That
here
is
to
right.
discourage anybody's thoughts.
Yeah, you were right.
We encourage it all. We like it all. Now,
Yeah.
there is one more also in the community that they think that the movie's supposed to be based in 1997. Some people said, no, it was actually 1998. Now, I try to look for something. Now, I don't really believe in residue, none of that kind of crap, because residue is just something to make somebody feel happy. But when I look at the plot summary, some of these plot summaries does use the word 1997. In 1997, now here was one that says the year 1998. So there was one that said in the year 1998. So a few people said this, not a lot, a few.
Yeah.
A few said they remember 1998, and I found one that a writer named Lee Horton from TCP Code in the UK, in his memory, he wrote back in the day that was 1998. So that's just a little side one. That's just, I guess you could say that's a bonus Mandela for it.
Yeah. But yeah, the red is dominant in many movies now. I've seen red, the colors. For some reason, if you're into the phenomenon, and it depends on how your memory is, and most of you will be correct in the fact that this is all misremembering. But I'm a victim of that paranormal, whatever you want to call this effect, and I remember clearly it was white. And I've seen this movie a lot. It's like Star Wars to me. I watched this movie. I loved it. I remember clearly his patch was on the other eye, and it was a white egg. But like someone says, eggs are white. So of course your mind would go there. You'd be correct. So I have been misremembering this movie since the 90s.
Well,
and other people have too.
I want to find out from our friend Pooper. What do you think that John Carpenter's trying to tell us?
This guy is misleading his flock.
Well, apparently John Carpenter is misleading. So Poopy thinks John Carpenter is misleading us. Maybe he is, or maybe he's telling us the truth about what's gonna. Did the movie tell us the future? I don't know. People say the movie Back to the Future told the future. Some people Or we're all out of our minds. We're all crazy. We're all nuts, but that's what we're all here. We're all here to have fun.
What's the significant if you were to play the puzzle game and you believe it, if you put it on the table as plausible? I go to the question. I go past all the whatever. I don't give a shit. I go to the question: why red? What's the significance of red? And there is a lot of cultic significance for the color red.
Danny,
if you're into the coding game.
Let me correct this. Danny, the movie did come out in the 80s. The movie came out in 1981. But the movie in 1981 is supposed to be in the future of 1997.
Yes.
So the movie did come out in the 80s.
Yes.
So beyond that, guys, I hope you all had a good time today. The show tomorrow will not be at 8:30 at night. The show tomorrow is actually going to be at 11 a.m. because I got movie tickets to see a movie called Movie Fall. And we
see that.
We have a guest coming on tomorrow named Oracles and Beyond, and we're gonna since. Tomorrow night, I'm going to see a movie about the moon. We're going to bring up topics about the blue moon, the blood moon, different moons, the double moon. What does the double moon mean? So, and Oracle's Beyond, she does readings and all that. So maybe we get her to do us a reading for us. I don't know. But beyond that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today. And hopefully I'll see you guys all back tomorrow. You got anything else to say, Bob?
I just put out a double header. I've been putting out some their audio entertaining videos. So I've just put out a series of them for you guys. Pentagon Secret Army, idiotic news, and then last night I'm doing a series of Bigfoot anthropological Bigfoot audio videos for your entertainment listenings.
Yeah,
whatever.
I know Danny was there last night with this. I put the link. It's called Bigfoot Found. It's audio sound.
Yes.
And then, well, beyond that, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming, and we're gonna end this, and that's it. I'll see you guys all later.
Oh, this is just a psyop. This is a government psyop. This is to make truthers look stupid. No, you know who looks stupid? The people that act like this isn't happening. The people that, when they do address it and try to come at us, all they'll do is talk about things like Curious George and the Bernstein Bears. Those are the people that sound stupid. How long are you going to follow these people?